Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again, and today I wanted to showcase some Feel the Rush. So there's gonna be Trundle and Tryndamere with Feel the Rush as our top end. And the reason that this deck is kind of making a big comeback is because this deck does very well against those Teemo Zoe elusives, right? So I know those Teemo Zoe elusives kind of running all over the meta, all over the rank ladder. And this deck can do well versus that. It can also do well against Vayne Kayn, which is also a very popular deck because we are playing the Blighted Ravines, we're playing the Tavern Keepers, playing Battle Feast, we're playing a lot of freezes, we're playing Wells and Vengeances and Eat That Stairs. All of these cards, and even Quatos, all of these cards are really good against all of those decks. Teemo Zoe and also your Vayne Kayn, which are two very popular decks in the current ladder, or even like Annie Jin, etc. Additionally, this deck also does okay versus some mid-range decks. Now, usually, traditionally, you lose against Demacia, but that's because of rallies, right? However, really, with rally being nerfed, the only really strong Demacia deck are the Vayne decks, and you can still do well versus Vayne because we have Quatos to remove the equipment, and we can just Vengeance the Vaynes or Vengeance their Kains, etc. as they come down. Honestly, it only really gets difficult when you have the Harpy, but that's also why we play Very Nice. If the opponent has a big, heavy board, you can Very Nice their board, and the Very Nice would obliterate any equipment, and then you can go Eat That Stairs to completely clear their board right here, and just win the game on the spot. So this deck surprisingly also does very well against Demacia, and that's how I ended up losing in the Worlds qualifiers. I actually got beat by one of my playing Feel the Rush against my Kayn Vayne because they were able to just remove all my units with Vengeances and stall it out, and then just play a Feel the Rush. And once the Feel the Rush is on the field, the Massive deck cannot do anything against a big Tryndamere and a big Trundle. So you literally just get to remove all their units, slow them down just enough to then to Feel the Rush to stall them out for the rest of the game. So yeah, that's why this deck I think is very good. The deck is pretty straightforward if you haven't seen it before. It is a control deck, so literally you just have a bunch of removal or a bunch of ramp that helps you start out the game for then you to go to your Feel the Rush turn, or your She Who Wonders, or your Very Nice into Eat That Stairs combo. Any of those are the top ends that we're kind of ramping up for to actually get to that spot. So we have some early removal like Quatos for like the Seraphines and things like that. We talked about Battle Feast, the Blighted Ravines, both damage spells that can kill the opponent's units. We have Three Sisters for some additional freezes, Faces of the Old One to ramp up with, Tavern Keeper for some heal, as well as blockers, Catalyst of Eons, ramp and heal. And again, this is why I said that this deck just destroy a lot of aggro decks. Harsh Winds for the freezes, especially against like Pantheon decks that have like both a Pantheon and a Varus attacking at the same time, or even to use this against like a Vayne and Harpy, right? Trundle, really good early unit, really great blocker because of the regen. Wells to remove aggro units. 2 Vengeance to kill some key units like Pantheon, Varus, Vayne. Atrocity to finish up the game sometimes if your overwhelms are not enough. Eat the Stairs is there to clear the opponent's board and also synergize with Very Nice. And then Tryndamere is the second champion that we want from Feel the Rush. We only play 2 of them because we don't want to have Tryndamere in our hand early. It ends up being not a card that you actually want to play out. And then double She Who Wonders to be able to completely destroy the opponent if they, especially against the Seraphine Viktor decks, it can just completely obliterate the whole board except for Viktor, so it can be really, really good. We do play one Voices of the Old One to just ramp up really quickly, as well as kind of like have some pseudo draw in our deck. And then finally, triple Feel the Rush is where you want to, again, ramp up to and use it to kind of finish up most of your games. The deck, again, is very straightforward. Just control the opponent's board, stall them out, and then just play your top end and win the game. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the games coming up today. And if you do, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LR videos every single day. I'll see you at the end of the video for some mulligan tips. In this matchup, we're going against Viktor Seraphine. And we're going against Zoe. We got the Feel the Rush. I don't know that we go for the Trundle. I think I want to look for Quatos, or I want to look for my ramp. We don't get the ramp, we get the Quatos. We keep the Feel the Rush. I got it burned too many times where I don't have my finishers, and he ends up actually being a big punish. So let's just take it easy for now. Yeah, we ended up getting Trundle anyways, but the Quatos should have allowed us to stop the Seraphine or the Viktor. We have Very Nice potentially to remove their units. Oh, okay, so you have the Very Nice into Eat That Stairs combo. That's not bad. No ramp sucks though. No ramp really sucks. Opponent could pick a card here instead of picking the Octopus, which makes it so that the Victor could actually go up to 3 attack and the Quietus will not be able to actually damage the Victor. Right? So this is what makes sense to me. If the opponent's smart, they pick the card here, they can play Victor and they pick the spell that they can use once Victor's on the field so that they can play around Quietus. Maybe they don't have Victor. Or maybe they're scared of the Vengeance now. I'm okay passing. The problem is the bar. The back alley bar is going to be a big deal. Let's say, okay, so they got that just naturally. Let's go Trundle. Let's go Trundle. Opponent's going to play Victor and still have a spell to save the Victor. They have to hit the Quietus, so they know we have the Quietus now. Oh, they're just gonna thermo this? Alright, I'm cool with that. I'm fine with that thermo thing. I think I'm okay with that thermo. The Quietus costing 3 is a little bit awkward. I'm not gonna deny that. But it's not like impossible, and us having no ramp is also really awkward. Alright, like us having no ramp really sucks. Luckily, opponent only hit the Quietus and the Ice Pillar, so they don't know what else we have in our hand, which ends up being really good for us. I want to go like this because I want to clear out my hand. I kind of want to empty out my hand because we were already almost overdrawing earlier. That way, because if opponent passes next turn, right, we will have 10 cards in our hand and we wouldn't have been able to pass back. It sucks that the opponent already got the bar, but we do have the Feel the Rush coming up in the next 2 turns. And the opponent already committed 1 thermal, so that could be pretty good for us. And we also have the Very Nice into Hit That Stairs eventually. Okay, so we just have to do the Hit That Stairs next turn then, right? No question about it. Yeah, we probably just have to do the Hit That Stairs next turn and get rid of the bars. We're gonna lose the Very Nice combo, but I think that's okay. It's too much value that they're getting from these bars. Way too much value. We could maybe he plays Seraphine here and we can play the Very Nice. But then that means that we won't have mana for Feel the Rush in turn 9. So I think it's definitely just Hit That Stairs. Opponent just lost the jump solo. So we're just gonna go Hit That Stairs, get rid of the bars now before the opponent can summon like a Victor or Seraphine discounted. And before they can get a lot of value from these back alley bars. And that should set them behind a lot. Right? Like losing the bars is a big deal for them, and then next time we just Feel the Rush. We will overdraw on turn 10 because we'll have another pillar from the second Trundle. Unless we commit the pillar first and then do the Feel the Rush. Which might actually end up being okay to do. Oh, they're gonna discard. They did the Savage Scrap with the Pokey and I give it all. Interesting. Because they wanted to use this for 0 mana. So you decided to discard a Pokestick for random cards? I guess they want to just level up their Seraphine. The downside here is that the moment that we do Feel the Rush, we're tapping out of the Quietus. Right? So we're tapping out of the Quietus. If you go for Progress Day here, you're overdrawing 1 card. So even though your Progress Day costs 6, you still overdraw 1. Okay, Concologist is not a bad loss for them. He's trying to take as much value as he can from the bar before they go away. Because, yeah, this way he was able to level up Seraphine while still playing cards that cost 0 mana. Which is kind of crazy how much value he got from that. Even though we literally started with the Concologist, with the Hit That Stairs to start the turn with. So now we have to deal with Seraphine. However, the opponent still hasn't set up their Viktor, and we're about to have Feel the Rush enabled. So we might still be okay. We also have Atrocity with us now.
Don't worry,
Stood Academic. Established Trap made it cost 1 less. That makes sense. I think I don't want to overdraw. I don't think I want to overdraw, so I think I am going to sacrifice the first Ice Pillar. Just so that I can play the Feel the Rush and not overdraw next turn, and still have the second pillar available for us. There's the Seraphine.
That was great. Now let's
I guess we have to Quietus now, huh?
The crowd writes the song.
I guess we have to Quietus. I mean, the opponent knows we have a Quietus. So we can Quietus here. I think I'm gonna just Quietus first then, and wait for the Feel the Rush for later. I think Seraphine is way too important. This doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't buff it up. So I don't understand the purpose of that. Did he not read the card? Maybe he thought he increased the attack power. Which, by the way, we have a freeze to be able to stop it. Oh, they just wanted to make space. I get it. He wanted to make space to just draw a lot. That's fair then. So they discarded the Shellfolk and the Trainer. They lose the first Seraphine.
Sorry, Papa.
We had the freeze anyway, sorry, so it wasn't gonna matter. It was never gonna matter anyways. It sucks blocking this because I would prefer to do the Blighted Ravine on it. Right? I would prefer to just do the Blighted Ravine on it to just kill it. I think that might be okay. I think that actually might be okay. I know this is not gonna die to like a Pokestick or anything like that, but I think that's okay. The problem here is that we just stepped out of Vengeance for a second Seraphine. But opponent has to play around a second Quietus, right? I think they're just waiting. They're just literally waiting for us to do the Feel the Rush. So the moment that we do Feel the Rush, we're tapping out of everything except Quietus, by the way. We won't overdraw. We won't overdraw anymore. We'll be 1 card off. We'll get the second pillar. We'll save the pillars for next turn. Because I don't want these pillars to just be there, vulnerable to things. They have to play around the second Quietus. Unfortunately, we don't have the second Quietus. So that's a problem. Yeah, I don't want these ice pillars to be vulnerable. So we'll go like this, deal the 10, and we have access to Atrocity. So now we can win the game to Atrocity, level up Trundle. Opponent could have a second Thermal here. Shellful. Okay. I'm gonna let it go. Ah, come on. Imagine if we had Quietus here. Imagine if we had Quietus here. Ah, very nice. 3 Sisters is definitely better, by the way. Because that way they can always play around the... they can always play around the Atrocity. So we know they have 1 3 Sisters now. We know they have 1 3 Sisters now. Question is, when do we kill that Seraphine? Probably after the first pillar, right? I think I do want to level up this Trundle before he potentially dies. Shoot. That sucks. I wanted to level up Trundle first. I don't know if I can anymore. I don't want him to get access to this Vengeance. I really don't want him to get access to this Vengeance. So I think I'm just gonna Vengeance here first. Gonna Vengeance first. At least make it so that they, I mean, make it a little bit more accurate for them to copy things, right? They could still have a bunch of copies, right? They could still copy a bunch of other spells. We know they stole 1-3-6. Oh, come on. Do they have a second? Do they have the third Seraphine? They hit the same thing again. Okay, so they have 2 freezes now. They have 2 freezes to stall us out for a while. Two freezes to stall us out for a while. They need to play a card before the Seraphine before they lose another card, right? Could just be the Thermo and the Trundle. Aftershock. We do have another. We have Fury of the North here, which might be okay to save us. Okay, they want to make the space. They wanted to make the space because they want to duplicate. They wanted to duplicate the card from Precedent. That makes sense. So now they have 2 created. So they have 2 freezes, 2 created cards from Fan Club Precedent. They have discarded pretty much every card that they got from the different back alley barkeeps. So I don't think they have any more from the other barkeeps from earlier. They lose the group shot. We level up Trundle. We know they have double freeze. We know they have double freeze. Do I need the second pillar? I don't know if I don't think I need the second pillar. I don't think I need the second pillar. I think I'd rather keep the second pillar in my hand so that it doesn't really get killed by like the shell folks and stuff and whatever they're putting drags with. We have enough stalling tools that maybe we're gonna be okay. So again, 2 cards from Fan Club Precedent. We don't have any Quatus or Vengeance, so we cannot kill the last Seraphine. Opponent gets to draw 2 cards, which burns one of them again. So they lose the Time Trick, which have been so good. We have been like so good with their yeah, honestly, because I know they have the freeze, I don't think this attack matters, right? This attack is gonna get stalled out. We know that the opponent has the freezes. We know that the opponent has the freezes, and there you go. That's the first 3 sisters. Flash freeze, boom. So then we just let this go through, and then we try it again next time. Minimorph? Aww. Okay, so all we have is Trundle then.
I gotta go.
So all we'll have is the Trundle. This Shellfolk is putting in a lot of work. I will say that. I will say that. I have too many freezes, man. I have too many freezes that he's just gonna be able to stall us out every single time. So I wonder if I'm supposed to bury to Entune this right now. I'm gonna Entune this so that the opponent can now get value from the pranks. We know they have one more freeze. We know they have one more freeze anyways. But this at least lets me stall a little bit until we could potentially actually kill the Shellfolk. Because I need to be able to kill her before the opponent can prank all over again. Yeah, they were getting way too much value from prank. We can play the Blighted Rabin next turn. Clear out their war, maybe. We still need one more card. We need like... Perfect. Alright, that's good. So the opponent only has 1 freeze. Opponent only has 1 freeze. I'm gonna go ahead for it. I know the opponent has one more Three Sisters, but they also do have those two created cards from the fan club president that we haven't seen yet. So 3 of their hand is created. The other 3 cards are drawn cards, probably another mini-morph, I'm guessing. Oh, it was the meditation. Sorry, so it was the meditation that they created from the fan club president, huh? So they really used double deep meditation. Yeah, they showed us that when they used the first one earlier. So all we have to worry about is the 1 freeze. Unless the opponent gets a third shuffle, because they discarded a shuffle earlier when they went for the rummage, right? So this is their second shuffle, right? So they will have to get a third shuffle and then prank our freezes. Otherwise, this is gonna be a pretty big attack next turn. And they just used up 1 prank. That's not bad. This doesn't matter because obviously being 10 costs, we can still play it out. They get to stop one of them. Here's the question. Do we Ice Pillar? High nose? Maybe they have a way to... Do they have a thermal maybe? Oh no, okay. They just wanted the answers. Okay, so they just wanted the answers. I need to open attack. I need to open attack because of that shuffle that's coming back. So no matter what, I need to open attack. Pick a card. Okay, so the opponent's gonna be digging. Why not kick the back alley bar keep? You're not gonna be able to play it because you're gonna have a full hand pretty much every time this game. Gets to prank again. Gonna prank the atrocity. Now they know that we have atrocity in our hand. And do we need to open anymore? I guess there's no reason not to, right? Is there any punish to the open? I think there's a lot more punish to develop because opponent could have easily gotten like any stun that's like slow speed, right? Is there any punish to this develop? I mean, all that develop is doing is just giving this vulnerable. Because we're really going to be dragging the Curious Shellfolk, and we don't have anything that we can drag this with differently than if we just went like this. So I guess we're going to go here. Because this one is dealing the 10 that we need. So we just go like this. I know that the second freeze, and that's going to cost the opponent 3 mana. So the opponent has 1 more freeze that's going to cost him 3 mana. So it's pretty much like a flash freeze. They know we have the atrocity. This is dealing only 4. But I can get rid of it by doing the Entomb so that we can push the 10, right? So we can push the full 10 on the Plastic Guardian because of the second Entomb. So like, this as a block, it doesn't matter. There's 1 freeze. Boom. There is the Wallop. Wallop or Minimorph? If it's Minimorph, we win. If it's Wallop, they could have a second Wallop. So if it's the Minimorph, okay, so they could have a second Wallop. The reason I'm doing this, and this is forced, and we already forced out the freeze, right? So we still have the atrocity next turn to potentially just win the game. But this is forcing out another answer, right? So this is forcing out another answer. And that way we have less answers for atrocity afterwards. And there we go, we got it. I think it was critical for us to Entomb that Shellfolk last turn. If we don't Entomb her last turn, the opponent can easily steal our freezes because we have a lot of them in our hand, and they just win the game from there. So GG's. In this match, we're going against Senna Ashe. So it's going to be like a freeze type of game style, huh? I don't hate the Rabines. Maybe too many though. Maybe we just keep 1 Rabine, because I mean, This is looking like a spooky type of Ashe gameplay. The Rabins can let me just swipe out their board without having to worry about anything that their opponent does. I'm scared of the fact that we're not keeping anything that we want to ramp to. Okay, we get the Field the Rush, so we got a little bit rewarded. Like, I was super scared of keeping just the Catalyst without, like, any Field the Rush, any She Who Wonders, or anything of the like, to actually be able to deal with them, right? So, Double Rabin should allow us to kill Senna and Ashe over 2 turns if the opponent ever gets to that point. But I don't know if that's going to be enough to do the rest that we need to. Oh, that's a huge draw. We're going to ramp up really quickly in this game. We're going to ramp up really quickly this game. I don't want the opponent to just pass back, so I think I have to play the Catalyst. Okay, opponent. Okay, well. We both doing nothing this turn. I'm cool with that. We both do nothing this turn. The problem is that the opponent's going to have access to... Pretty sure that if I play Trundle, the Trundle is just going to die, right? Like, I don't think I can play this Trundle out. I also kind of want to ramp to the Voices of the O1. So I want to keep my mana so that I can just do this.
I will unite the Freljord.
Right? So then we just do like this, and we're up to 10 mana next time. Opponent doesn't even get a freeze because it's very easy for the opponent to have Quietus for the Trundle. The downside in this matchup, right? The downside in this matchup is going to be the fact that we're just going to get punished by all the freezes. So we're going to get punished by all the freezes. We can go like this, and then we have just enough mana to do Field the Rush. Glimpse. That's fine. Opponent still is not able to summon anything this turn, right? So that will just Glimpse. Quietus is so good, because Quietus is able to freeze our units. We are 3 mana gems ahead of them, so we can feel the opponent could do Ashe here. Yeah, that also gives them a lot of value. I want to go like this first. Because we can always go the Axe Pillar to tag the Shaman, and we can also still have Vengeance to be able to still kill her and then commit for the second Field the Rush. We ended up getting the Tryndamere from our hand, which kind of sucks, because honestly, having that second Tryndamere in my hand would have been really nice. Don't understand the purpose of that freeze, to be honest. Don't understand the purpose of that freeze. We get to tag the Shaman here and force another freeze out of the opponent. And if they have the freeze, I guess we just Vengeance it. I think this Shaman is putting a lot of value for them, that I don't want her to stay on the field either. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We still kill her. Yeah, we still kill her. Opponent has to commit a second freeze. Yeah, because we have double Ice Quake. Okay, opponent gets the Troll Shan. Do I commit this on this girl, or do I commit it on the Ashe later on? No, I like it here. I'm just gonna do this now. The Ashe is scary. The Ashe is scary. But I don't think it's gonna be like impossible to deal with. This way we still have a lot of value here. The opponent will be able to kill this Ice Pillar though. Question is if we actually do we actually do the second Field the Rush? We probably have to, right? A Ruination is scary though, because it will kill. Okay. Okay. I don't think I like the second Field the Rush just yet. Who am I kidding? We should definitely do it. We should definitely just do it. Who am I kidding? The Ruination will kill one of the Tryndameres and the Trundle. Which is a little bit problematic, but not impossible to deal with. Opponent has to tap this Yeah, if you were gonna do that, why not do it ahead of time? Now, what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna play the Ice Pillar. I'm gonna play the Ice Pillar. If the opponent has Ruination, they're gonna have it anyways. So they're always gonna have the Ruination anyways, right? At fast speed. So there's no punish to us developing here. If they're gonna have Ruination, I guess they probably gonna kill, like, to save Senna, they can kill one of these units as well. Yeah, if they have Ruination, this is the same no matter which way we do it. There it is. But the good thing is that if they Vengeance this... Oh... That's it? You're still gonna take the 8? You're still gonna take the 8? I don't know if I agree with that. Don't know if I agree with that. We still have Tryndamere's. That's the third Senna. They do level up the Senna, which is a little bit annoying. We have our third Trundle. Don't want to play him yet until Shatter. Okay, so they wanted to just trigger the... Now we lose to a Ruination. So now is when I think that we actually do lose to a Ruination if we're not careful. I want to clear out their board, so at the very least... Or a Quietus, right? Quietus also does it right here. Opponent actually doesn't have the Quietus. So because of the Ruination, we have to probably do way before we commit the Trundle. This is a lot of health. Yeah, we have to wait before we commit the Trundle, just because of this Ruination threat. There's way too much removal that they might have. Wolf, okay. They can also start freezing my units, right? So they could start freezing my units here and kill them with the wolf. Harsh Winds. Vengeance? So you're gonna go down to 1? So we know that the opponent has no freezes. If they had a freeze, they wouldn't have taken this damage like that. So we know that the opponent has no freezes. Sure, let's go ahead and do this. Just have like a random blocker just in case. I still think it's correct to play around the Ruination. We need She Who Wanders, who feel really good here. Or if that's theirs as well. Maybe we don't bother anymore, right? I mean, if they have the Ruination, they're also losing their whole board, so I think I'm just gonna go for it. That way we have 2 threats that can deal the Overwhelm, and we're not losing to a single Vengeance. Opponent already showed us that they don't have Harsh Winds. So we're not losing to a single Vengeance. We're losing to Ruination.
Ready to fire.
Sure. I'll take that. The fact that the opponent is willing to sacrifice their units like this tells me that they probably do have a Ruination. And at this point, they don't care about losing their units. Trollshan? We can't hit it with the Battle Piece because she has 3. Okay. This doesn't matter. Wolf? Okay, so they have 1 card. They have 1 card. If it's not Ruination or a Harsh Winds, we should be okay. This is tempting. But this is better off. Now that we know that we're only losing to Ruination, this is better off later. We know we're only losing to the Ruination. So after the opponent does the Ruination, we can play She Who Wanders, and they shouldn't have a way to deal with us. That feels bad for them, though. I mean, maybe they don't play Ruination, right? Because they are playing the Wolf. They're playing the Wolf, and they're also playing the Shamans. They're playing the Den Mother. So they're kind of like a heavy board presence, right? So there's a good chance that they just don't play Ruination whatsoever. And they already played double Vengeance, right? They already played double... Actually, they played the Daunting Dot. The Daunting Shadow. Oh no, yeah, they played the Daunting Shadow twice and they played the Vengeance. So they drew triple Senna and one regular Vengeance. It's kind of interesting, right? So this is actually kind of cool because the Shatter becomes fast speed, huh? Because of Senna. So it's a 1 mana fast freeze, which is actually kind of cool. Because the thing about fast freeze versus burst freeze is that the fast freeze cannot be countered at all. Because when you do a burst speed freeze, the opponent can still buff their units back up. But with a fast speed freeze, they will have to commit the buff before the freeze actually triggers. So they wouldn't be able to. The freeze will always be the last thing that triggers after all the buffs. So GG's. In this match, we're gonna go against Jinx Ekko. This should be a pretty good matchup for us as long as we get the Vengeance to be able to tap their units. I like the Harsh Ones. I like the Trundle. I like the Battlefields, but then that means that we don't have a way to actually ramp with the Faces of the Old One. I think I'm gonna go like this. Rabin is probably better than Battlefields now. Okay, perfect. I definitely want to keep the Trundle and the Harsh Ones. Harsh Ones is just such a good punish against Ekko. So it just feels correct to do it. Opponent did get the Fallen Feline early on. Cool. We'll go the Faces of the Old One here. We'll have Trundle pretty shortly on our next attack turn. We can play Rabin this turn if we want to, but then that's gonna damage our Faces of the Old One, and then the opponent will be able to just kill it with like a Mystic. So we might not want to do that. I still think it's probably correct. To do the Rabin, just heal up. If you want to kill the Faces, that's okay. We still get I was gonna say we still get it by having this die afterwards, where the opponent actually committed it beforehand. So because the opponent committed it beforehand, we actually don't get to play Trundle here. But we do get to play the second Rabin. And the second Rabin kind of does similar job of clearing the opponent's board before the Ekko can come down and give them a really big board presence. Now, if the opponent has Ekko here, the question is, do we commit for the Harsh Winds? I don't think so. I think we go for the Trundle first. The opponent needs to commit a Predict here. Oh, so they're digging. They just spend their second Ekko? They're digging for the Predict here? They tapped out of Absolver, so we can actually just block that Ekko. I think if the opponent doesn't tap out of Absolver, and they just chill, I wouldn't have blocked with Trundle. Like, if they just literally just chill and did nothing, I would not have blocked with the Trundle.
Her people.
They could level up Jinx here. But then again, we have the Harsh Winds, which is what I'm waiting for. Very Nice also does it. The Harsh Winds is what I'm waiting for, so that I can just pop the Ekko. The problem is that if the opponent has a Predict in their hand before they play the Ekko, they could actually... I think I'm down to attack. Because if the opponent blocks with Jinx, I'm okay with that. They lose their Jinx. Yeah, this is gonna regen back up, so at least we get rid of one of their chump blockers. There's no way they don't get a Predict here, right?
Heading topside. I do my own stunts.
So we go like this.
Let's talk about your dad.
Opponent levels up Ekko. We play Harsh Winds. Ekko dies. Doesn't get the Predict because he's down to 0 attack now that the opponent already leveled it up. And Jinx, as annoying as she is, we can definitely deal with the Jinx. So we can definitely deal with the Jinx later. I am taking extra damage because I decided to not freeze this, guys. But I'm just gonna go into the assumption that we can potentially kill her. Yeah, the opponent gets the thing, gets to push it for damage, cool. We can Ice Pillar. We can Ice Pillar, kill Jinx, and set up for the Atrocity. Or we can ice pillar very nice into it that stairs. Probably better to, because the thing about the it that stairs combo is that the opponent cannot actually deal with it. Like the revive is not enough, right? Okay, so opponent goes like this. So they're looking to push the last point of damage then. So they're just looking to push 1 point of damage, which means that we definitely have to go Tryndamere now and set up for the atrocity. That will beat anything, right? At 1 HP, we should be able to beat anything because of the atrocity. And we just go like this. This goes up to 11. Opponent goes down to 5. And atrocity wins us the game. Being at 1 is okay. Being at 1 is completely okay. No reason to waste time. Let's just go for it. Boom. Yeah, I just feel like, I mean, they had no out. The moment that we got atrocity and they got into atrocity range, they literally had no out. So GG's. In this matchup, we're gonna get against Gwen Katarina. So Gwen Katarina is very bad matchup for us, right? It's really the matchup that makes this deck really good in the meta. I think I'm okay with the ramp, and I want to look for removal. Because I wanted to be able to kill Katarina as soon as she came down. Unfortunately, that doesn't look like it's gonna happen. I only hope then is gonna be to just ramp up as fast as we can. So this is gonna be our only hope. The problem is that they play Quietus, so they could remove these faces of the old one. Yep, and now if they have Katarina, I think we just lose. So we have to risk it. We have to force them to have it. They had the Quietus, so you know it is what it is. But in this matchup, we're already unfavored to begin with. So if we don't take our chances, we end up falling behind. If they have Katarina, okay, that's not Katarina, but it's still pretty big. We still have enough ramp here that we might be okay, but the fact that they also got the foyer means that they continue getting that value throughout the rest of the game. We could go for a second catalyst and then start setting up for like a big field of rush. But this is going to be 3, 5, 7, 8. We're going to go down to 10. And that's their Katarina now. We have to vengeance the Katarina then, right? We cannot afford to have Katarina level up. And by vengeancing Katarina, we kind of put ourselves in a spot where, again, we kind of have no value anymore. We can play Trundle maybe, but again, I feel like at this point we kind of do wanna. I think it has to be Trundle then, right? Oh, okay, we can Rabin instead now. Yeah, we can Rabin instead and clear the whole board, but then the opponent still has access to the one drop, to the one that's gonna come out of here. All right. So they're gonna have a lot of hollows. That's gonna be actually this triggers first, so this actually kills all of them. Yeah, it triggers this way. So what we can do now is that we can play Trundle, or they could just play Harrowing, and then they get punished by the Burying Ice. So 3 sits, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 16. So we have to go Burying Ice. We have to go Burying Ice, and then they still get the Sentient next turn because we don't have an It that stairs. So they still get the same attack next turn, right? Because we don't have It that stairs. Our Field of Rush does nothing. We will need to top deck. We will need to top deck. Because the opponent also gets Katarina leveled up, right? We will need to top deck a freeze. If we don't top deck a freeze, we lose. So if we need the freeze, then we want to keep Trundle instead of Tryndamere, because we want to level up Trundle with the Ice Pillar. So that would allow us to level up the Trundle with the Ice Pillar first. Okay, so we just lose anyways. Because unfortunately, even with the freeze, I don't think... I guess the freeze lets us freeze Katarina and whatever the opponent buffs. We don't get the freeze, so they win the game. Unless the opponent doesn't open. Oh man, if we have Harsh Winds, we actually okay, right?
Quick as the blade.
If we have Harsh Winds, we're okay. Because we have enough mana to play Harsh Winds plus the Ice Pillar. And then be able to win from there. Or if we had gotten the It That Stairs, that also would have felt really, really good. So GG's. In this matchup, we're gonna go against Gwen Katarina. This is one of our really bad matchups. They just have so much value. I don't like the Caretaker. I like the Battle Feast because we need a way to pop the Katarina as soon as she comes down. So the double Battle Feast does exactly that. The Rabin could also be decent. It's gonna be a very slow game without any ramp. But I think it has to. I think I have to go about it this way. I think I have to absolutely go about it this way. Now, opponent, I think, messes up by doing this, because now we take 0 damage, and we get to put the rear guard in range of actually dying to the second Battle Feast now.
Okay, ready.
So, if opponent plays Katarina, we can Battle Feast the Katarina twice. Very nice, could be really good in this matchup, now that we have the It That Stairs. I still think I need to play around Katarina, right? I think I need to play around Katarina, so I don't wanna play the Battle Feast. I need a double Battle Feast. If the opponent goes like this, I'm also fine with that. We'll just go here.
I pull the string.
You're gonna let the Elise be tagged with the Battle Feast now. Ha. Harsh Winds is gonna be really good. The thing about playing the Battle Feast now... that sucks. I really don't want to do this Battle Feast now. Especially with the opponent having the Blaze Edge available. This kind of sucks. I need to stop this Katarina, right? So I need to stop this Katarina. We can go like this, actually. So we can go like this, freeze them both, go Quietus on the Katarina. And that's enough. But we lose our Harsh Winds, which are probably better off for later. Still don't think I want to play the Battle Feast yet. I want to wait for the opponent to commit more stuff. Yeah, because I need this Battle Feast for Katarina still. Wow. That's unfortunate. The fact that we actually need to continue to kill the Katarina, they put so much pressure because of her. They can put so much pressure because of her.
A brief engagement, but a joyous one.
Because I cannot let that Katarina level up. The moment Katarina levels up, we lose the game. So these two Battle Feasts that we've been holding on for a while are going to be used for that. Unless the opponent gets greedy here. They don't get greedy, so we'll go like this. And we'll have enough mana for Feel the Rush next turn. But then the opponent gets Katarina again anyways, because of the Eternal Dancers. Okay. So what if we actually supposed to Vengeance this instead? I think so, right? I think I'm supposed to Vengeance this, because the opponent's going to get Katarina back anyways. So I have to force them to continue finding ways to get another Katarina. The It That Stairs doesn't make sense until the opponent plays the Harrowing. So I think next turn what we're gonna have to do is just play Tryndamere, and that will still leave us with 12 mana for a potential Feel the Rush on the next attack turn if the opponent doesn't have an answer for Tryndamere. However, the opponent could easily have access to the Reckoner now, which will make our Tryndamere worthless. If we actually play Tryndamere. But the Harrowing just wins in the game, right? So what if it's actually Rabin? Okay, so opponent has 5, 7. What if he's actually pass first? What if it's actually pass first? We go like this, and the opponent still gets value because of the harrowing. They lose the Ghastly ban. So the opponent plays harrowing and can. Oh wait, no. Okay, so this should be good for us then, right? Yeah, this should be very good for us. This should be game winning. I guess opponent could have harrowing, right? Opponent has just enough mana to play harrowing, and if they have harrowing, we lose the game. But I cannot play around the harrowing anymore. Because that Katarina could have just won in the game there. Okay, perfect. It's not a harrowing. It's not a harrowing. That's huge. I'm even willing to take this block. I'm willing to... Opponent wants to kill the She Who Wonders, right? Because opponent wants to push this damage and then kill the She Who Wonders with the Blaze Edge. And I think I'm okay with this. I think I'd rather do that than take that 7 damage. I guess we could also go like this. Keep the She Who Wonders as an additional blocker. Take the 7. Yeah, we have to go like this because we need to play around... I guess we know that the opponent has no more units in their hand, right? We know that the opponent has no more units because we discarded everything. So the opponent has 1 spell in their hand, and it wasn't Atrocity. Sorry, it wasn't Harrowing. So what could it be? We should just play Feel the Rush here and start working on our big units. And we still have the Hit the Stairs to stop a Harrowing. And when I say stop, at least like partially stop. We're still gonna have access to the Eternal Dancers that stays alive, even through the Hit the Stairs. And that should be game. Alright, wow. If the opponent had Harrowing last time, we automatically lose. But I also think we played it as best as we could based on our hand, where we had to just completely try to continue getting rid of all the Katarinas. So GG's. Hey, welcome back everybody. Hope you enjoyed those games. Somehow we were able to win against that Gwen. You saw us lose 1 game against Gwen and Katarina and then beat them once. That's very rare. Gwen Katarina whole purpose is that it's so good against like control decks like Feel the Rush. So not very often that you're gonna beat that deck with this deck, but we were able to get there. We also had a crazy long game against Trickster Sorry. That was pretty nuts, but there were some key points there that we had to take advantage of it to actually be able to push lethal. In terms of mulligan, it's going to be very matchup dependent, right? Almost always you want to go for your ramp. So Faces of the O1, if you have like Faces of the O1 in your hand and you have a Feel the Rush in your hand, that's an amazing start. So you're looking for your ramp, Faces of the O1, you're looking for your Catalyst of Eons, and then you're looking to keep at least 1 Feel the Rush so that you don't get stuck with a hand without having your win condition on your hand. So that's usually what I would go for. However, in certain matchups, you're going to have to keep different things, right? If I'm going against like Seraphine decks, I don't mind keeping 1 Quietus. Same thing if I'm going against some equipment decks, because this can just punish them really easily, especially against Kayn. If you're going against aggro, you want to keep your Battlefield, or your Rabin, or your Tavern Keeper, so that you have early blockers and early removal. If you're going against like something like Pantheon or Barrows, you might be okay keeping 1 Vengeance, although you don't necessarily need to. You can just try to ramp up and try to just make your units bigger than theirs. So usually you want to go for your ramp and then just keep Quietus, Battlefield, Tavern Keeper, Rabin, depending if you're going against aggro or mid-range decks. Aside from that, just focus on your ramp to actually get to your high mana gem count and then win the game from there. That will be my advice on mulligan for this deck. If you liked today's video, make sure to like it below and subscribe to us. We post a lot of videos every single day. You can also find us on Twitch at Sirturmund, where we stream every now and then. And we're going to be streaming later this week on the new announced Foundations Gauntlet. So that's going to be super exciting. And you might even see a video on that as well later on. And then you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all again tomorrow.